Hello, I'm Sara Landon, and I am so happy to welcome you to the path of the Wayshower. In this course, you will find channeled messages from the Council about living, loving, leading, and thriving in an awakening world, as well as my guidance for integrating these profound teachings in your life. More uplifting and inspiring wisdom, including many free resources, can be found online at saralandon.com. That's SARALANDON.com. If this information resonates with you, I invite you to join our global Masters Class community or participate in any of our upcoming courses or live events. You can learn more about these opportunities on our website. Thank you for listening.
I have to begin by just saying this is the course I feel that we have been working towards for the last many years as part of this journey with the Council, and I truly have never felt more invigorated or excited for any course that we have done. People ask me sometimes if I get nervous, and it's not nervousness, it's a sense of excitement, but I have to say I felt such a deeply peaceful feeling go through my whole body as I got ready to join this call today, and it just tells me how far we have come, that all the right people are here that are ready to receive this message, and that it is really a coming together in this sacred community here to find the support and the love and the guidance to living, loving, and leading in an awakening world, which certainly we have all been experiencing. So I just want to take a moment because the introduction to this course really came through as so important to the intention of our time together. And so I'd just like to share it with you. And if you are in a place that you can do so, just close your eyes and open your heart and really feel the love and the vibration in these words that have been prepared for you. You are here to help create a new paradigm for humankind. You are here as love in action to help raise the consciousness levels. You are light in physical form, here to create your life experience and everything you intended it to be. This truly is the most incredible time that has ever happened in our human history, as the great awakening of our human family is about to occur. The next wave of humankind will awaken at an unprecedented rate and intimately affect the lives of our family members, our friends, our coworkers, and those in our community. But with your help, the awakening journey of those around us can be a more loving, gentle, and harmonious experience as one steps through the veil of illusion and into the light, as all of you have. A new path is emerging, and expanded possibilities for humankind are becoming the new way of what it means to be living, loving, leading, and thriving in an awakening world. It is time, like never before, for the leaders and the wayshowers of this great awakening to fully step into your power and guide the way forward. You really do have a really important role in the great awakening that is taking place on our planet at this time. And I would suspect that you probably have always known this somewhere deep within your heart. You dream of a world where there is peace and joy and love and abundance and harmony for all beings. You feel a deep sense of responsibility within you for creating a better world for those around you. You know that you have an important mission or a purpose here in this life, but like so many, you likely still feel a bit unsure exactly what that purpose is or how to successfully fulfill your mission here. And for some of you, you might even feel a bit stuck or overwhelmed trying to figure out what your purpose is or how to share your gifts. And you may even feel a bit unable from time to time to move forward in the way you wish you could. But I assure you, you are here to assist humanity in the Great Awakening, or you would not be here listening to this at this time. You're here to help us create a new paradigm of love, relationships, health, wealth, abundance, and community here. And I assure you, you have been uniquely prepared with gifts and talents and abilities, some that just may be beginning to awaken within you. But you're here to share these gifts with the world. There really has never been a more important time to embrace your power, to ignite the powerful force of love within you, and to light the path forward as a leader during this time of awakening and ascension. So just know that whether you have been on a spiritual path your entire life, or you're just beginning to really awaken to all of this and the power within you, this is your time to start living your purpose in the most meaningful and fulfilling way. It's time to live your destiny and embark on your own personal journey to living in higher dimensions of existence where new possibilities and potentials for your life are waiting for you. You can call it heaven on earth or the new earth or the fifth dimension or the ascension. It really doesn't matter what you call it, but it is the promise of a world without separation, without prejudice, without fear, scarcity, and suffering. And while we might look around our world and say that so much of this exists, it really is the lowest of the low vibrations that still exist here. And we are deciding as a consciousness how to transcend through these things. It is your highest potential in this life. If you're like me, you have asked this question: what is my highest potential? Your highest potential in this life experience is to live fully conscious and awakened in the extraordinary and miraculous world of the fifth dimension, or, if you prefer, in heaven on earth, the new earth. And as much as we want our own lives to be extraordinary and miraculous, and they are, and they will be, or a Wayshower, your greatest joy and fulfillment will come from using your unique gifts and abilities to illuminate the path so that others may also find their way to the light. Within the heart of every Wayshower, there is a knowing that a better way is possible. But it's time to fully activate your power and this dream within you and become a conscious and intentional co-creator of love and beauty and peace and harmony and abundance here on earth. The fifth dimension, heaven on earth, a new earth, the ascension. It's available to everyone. But you cannot, and I say this with absolute love in my heart, you cannot take your earthly burdens and the limited system of the third dimension into these higher states of being. The old ways simply will not work in higher states of consciousness and higher states of conscious awareness. Believe me, I've tried. And truly, it's about stepping into the new paradigm. We absolutely must release guilt and shame and feelings of unworthiness. They cannot go with you into the fifth dimension or the new earth. And if you're feeling these things, you will not find yourself being able to easily step into the fifth dimension. It is about surrendering our need to control and force the outcome, releasing old stories and the pains of the past, because truly they do not serve your best intentions or the greater good and what is seeking to manifest through you. The Council assures us time and time again that love and joy and peace and abundance and well-being are your absolute divine birthright. But to align with these things, you must love yourself. You must create a deep sense of self-worth. And it is only when you really embody your own self-love and self-worth that you can truly love and lead and inspire others. You will create more meaningful, authentic relationships and experience the love and the acceptance and the respect and the devotion that you desire from others when you find it within yourself. For those of us who are Wayshowers, it is up to us to accelerate the evolutionary awakening experience within us and reach for the highest levels of self-mastery and self-expression, both which are so critical to this path of the Wayshower, your own self-mastery and your own self-expression. And there is a deep-seated desire within you to use the gifts that you came here to give and to manifest the dreams in your heart. And it is the intention of this course to guide you and assist you in doing so. You are light, focused in physical form, and it is your mission to create impeccably here as you remember how to convert light into form. Really open your heart and hear this part. You possess within you the highest virtues, qualities, and abilities. You are compassion. You are kindness. You are love. You are creativity. You are abundance. And you are here to create joy, peace, and love for all of mankind, as well as for the animals and the planet. So it is time to embody your truth, to really fulfill your mission here, and to live a soul-inspired life, powered and guided by your sacred heart. So it is time. You are ready. And as we set this intention, we begin this incredible experience of illuminating the path forward for the Wayshower, coming together in our power and love to guide humanity to a better way forward. And so if this is one of your first experiences in one of our courses, I'm going to begin each course with a bit of this structure, and then we will invite in the Council for a powerful message from them. and then go to Q&A with the council or any questions that you have for me specifically. But for today, in part one, what I really wanted to bring through is this remembering of the promise for all of us. And so I will invite in the council here shortly to help us go through a process to really remembering your own divine mission here and your role in the Great Awakening and what it means for you. And before we do that, I want to share a little bit about why you and what your role in this Great Awakening is, and an understanding of how your life has been divinely orchestrated for this time. I also want to help you in really discerning the difference between what is your responsibility and what is your duty here as a wayshower, so that life can be a little easier and more fun for you. And we'll also share some practical steps for really living your purpose in the most fulfilling way possible in your life. And so the path of the wayshower really is an unknown path. There are many that have been here as wayshowers. They're in all parts of our world. They are in all different religions, all different types of corporations. They are in all different countries, all different sizes, all different ages. And it's time, more than ever before, for us to come together as wayshowers for a variety of different reasons. But being a wayshower at the deepest level is selfless service to the divine. It's really not a duty. It is something that you chose. In fact, the council will shed much more light on this, but you eagerly chose to come here and be part of this Great Awakening. But for many of us, as we sort of think about this Great Awakening, if you think about your own Great Awakening, what you may not know is that many others were also going through their Great Awakening at the same time as you. We just didn't know each other then. We just hadn't come together then. But what I have found to be true in everyone, and I really have yet to find anyone that has come to the council and their work that did not experience a deeply profound awakening around the time of 2006, 7, 8, somewhere within there. And you may have already been on some sort of spiritual path, but there was a call that went out. And if I were to tell you what that call felt like to me, it was a, are you ready? And I didn't know what I was ready for. I didn't know how I was going to get there. But the answer was yes. However, the way that showed up for me was in a time where I found myself going through a lot of things in this human experience where I felt like my life was sort of falling apart. In some ways, from the outside, it all looked pretty good, but inside, I knew I wasn't living my truth. And for every single person that I have ever met on this journey that has come to this work, they too had similar experiences, whether it was relationships, the loss of a loved one, a near-death experience, a health issue. Our lives as we understood it began to change. And the council explains that this was a time of beginning to clear our earthly burdens and purify our hearts and our souls. And then we all went through another collective experience, although most of us didn't know each other then, around 2009, 10, 11 time frame. And this is where you may have started to become a little more aware of your gifts You might have started having a desire even to do something in this field. But this was a time for us to discover our gifts and to really believe in our gifts and learn how to use them. And for some of us, we're still discovering more and more of our gifts every day. But what's important that is now is the time for us to come together and start putting the pieces together and understand how our gifts fit together and how they all play such a major role in creating a new paradigm. You can't really create a new paradigm without understanding the limitations within the existing paradigm, without seeing what you want changed in the existing paradigm. If the existing paradigm worked for you, you wouldn't want a new one. And this is maybe the best understanding that I could give you for all of the struggles that you have experienced until now in your relationships, with your finances, with your health. It's really understanding what you want that new paradigm to look like. And it is, I believe, a dream within all of our hearts, knowing that there is a better way. And this is just really stepping into that deep desire within you to help create a better way. So the Council explains that there's a bit of a difference between a light worker and a wayshower. I know for me personally, I always, from the first time I heard them use the word wayshower, I just knew in my being that's what I was. Maybe you can relate. Some of you may relate with the word light worker. And light workers are often ones that are here anchoring light in our planet, bringing love and light to the world. But as a wayshower, I believe you are indeed a light worker, but you're also here with unique gifts, and you're here to use those gifts, and you're here to lead. You're here to really lead the path forward. And so some might say that the path of the wayshower is not necessarily easy. And yet I think there's only one part of it that is difficult until it's not. And if you'll remember this one simple thing, I believe it will help make this path of the wayshower even easier for you. But as a wayshower, you're here as a leader, and you're here as a wayshower. And every day is your opportunity to choose whether you're going to be here as a leader and a wayshower, or a complainer and a victim of your life experience. And understanding that there's only one real part of this whole journey that's difficult until it's not. But it is taking total responsibility for yourself and seeing yourself in everything and everyone around you. Taking responsibility for yourself and seeing yourself in everything and everyone around you. Because when we go into victim and blame, that's what keeps us separate, and that's what keeps us stuck. And if you will remember each day that your responsibility here as a wayshower is to take responsibility for yourself and your life and what shows up in it, and choosing to see everything as a lesson and a blessing and an opportunity to go deeper, to get more clear on creating a new paradigm and guiding through those times. So being discerning, what is your responsibility and what is your duty? Your responsibility is what's in your space. Your responsibility is for the part that's showing up in front of you in your world. And then choosing the part of it that is your duty is really choosing to stay conscious or be conscious or shift back into a conscious state so that you can choose love, so that you can choose compassion, so that you can choose unity, so that you can choose kindness in your response, in the way you're being, versus seeing yourself as a victim and going into blame, which keeps you stuck and separate. Staying conscious, getting conscious, being conscious, taking responsibility for yourself, seeing yourself in everything and everyone around you, and choosing love and compassion and kindness and unity. The Council explains that there are certain requirements of living in a 5D world. And some of those include, which we will talk more about as the Course goes on, but your own self-love and living in your sacred heart. Part of the requirements of living in a fifth dimensional state in the ascension, in the new earth, is your own personal power. It's also being in joy and living your truth and being in selfless service to the divine. But I also want to share with you that there is a great opportunity as a wayshower to accelerate the ascension process and really assisting in creating a new paradigm and a better world around you. And I assure you that there are great rewards for this incredible path of being a wayshower. And some of them will speak so deeply in your heart. But really, to be on this path of the wayshower, you will feel a sense of protection, a sense of well-being, a sense of abundance, and a sense of connectedness. And if I were to describe what it feels like to really be home, we all want to go home. We want to be home. We want to have a beautiful home. You may be thinking about it in terms of this world, or you may be thinking about it in a leaving of the physical dimension and going home. But I truly think that home is here. It's a state of being. And I have never felt more home than when I have been consciously and intentionally on this path of the wayshower, realizing that indeed my greatest joy does come from sharing my gifts and helping others to find their way in the dark, to find their way back to the light. And so it is assured that in this path of being a wayshower, there are great rewards here for you, or you would not have agreed to come forth and be part of the Great Awakening. And so if you think of what it would feel like to be home, you would feel protected. You would feel a sense of well-being. It's a feeling of abundance. It's a feeling of connectedness. And these things are assured as you pave the way forward on this unknown path of the wayshower. You are also being reunited with your soul family at this time, with those who are also here to be a wayshower. And they are just an extension of your earthly families, but you will find yourself coming together in connection. And the Council assures us that a new way really is emerging, and an emerging spirituality of self-aware humankind is beginning to be more common in our lives. This self-aware human, they might have a different religion than you. They might be in a different country than you. They might have a different profession or even look very different from you. But there is a self-aware human that is emerging, and there is a new emerging type of spirituality. And this really requires us coming together, supporting each other and inspiring one another, and sharing knowledge and wisdom, sharing our visions and our experiences with one another. And if you have felt lonely on this path in the past, I assure you, and especially with the intention of this course, that it is time to come together so that you have the support and the inspiration that you need, and that you can share your gifts in a safe place where others will support and inspire you, that you know that you can share your knowledge and your wisdom and your visions and experiences with one another. And so as we connect and we come together in connectedness throughout this course, may we set the intention of really beginning to share in a deeper way. But as a Wayshower, we are moving into situations that have not yet been experienced by humans. We are stepping into paradigms that have not been experienced by humans. And it takes a great amount of courage, of self-love, self-worth, self-mastery, and your own self-expression to integrate this current human form of what's possible into these new frequencies that are coming forth and paving the way forward. I truly believe that each and every one of us can reach our full potential, coming together here to help and heal and love one another, knowing that as Wayshowers, we lead and we live by our example, that being a Wayshower is not necessarily a way-teller or a way-demander, but a Wayshower, guiding the path forward through the ascension, which is really the raising of the consciousness, the raising of the vibration into higher levels of awareness and consciousness and existence here in the human experience. And so I do want to share, just briefly, one of the questions I have gotten many times from people about a new earth or the ascension or this heaven on earth that we talk about. Really, there's a few things. First off, it is a new paradigm that we are creating, but you first must create it within yourself. If you are not living in a peaceful, abundant, joyful, loving world within you, you will not see it around you. You first must create it within, and only then do you see it showing up around you in your life. This is one of the most important pivotal pieces to living in a new earth and creating a new paradigm. And we're going to talk much more about the new earth, but the other piece of this being that you sort of understand what it means as some of this starts to awaken. So when we talk about the Great Awakening, there are certain things that sort of help show you that you are going through an awakening, that others might be going through an awakening, that you are stepping into the new earth. And so I just want to share a few of these, because if you think about it, whatever it was for you, whether you've been on a spiritual path for a long time, or you're just waking up, or you really relate to that time of 2006, 7, 8, where life really began to change for you, 2006, 7, 8, 9 time frame. But, here are some of the very common things that people experience when they're going through their awakening. And as I read this list to you, just being aware of whether these things were part of your awakening experience. And I bring them up as sort of an important reminder that when others are starting to go through their own personal great awakening, this is sort of the little key or the little tip, the little things that you might start noticing. So first off, you might notice changes in your energy and in your sleep. You might notice that you start waking up at the same time every night, like 2:22 or 3:33. You might find yourself not sleeping very much, or then sleeping a lot. But you might find your sleep patterns shifting and changing. Number one is, really around being aware of changes in your sleep, times that you're waking up. Is it a similar time? And it sort of will seem unusual to your normal habits. The second one is you might start seeing changes in your relationships with your friends and your family. It may not make any sense, but you may find yourself not feeling as close or connected to certain people as you used to be, or groups of people. You might feel yourself not feeling like you belong in old groups and places that you used to be. And that certainly can be sort of scary and a lonely time for someone when they're going through their own awakening. The next thing is you might start noticing little glitches in times, or it sort of could be a deja vu experience. You started being aware of, maybe I've experienced this before, I've felt this before. You might also start seeing energy or lights. You might start seeing out of the corner of your eye, like someone's there or something's there, or you see a light flash over someone's shoulder, or you see little orbs of light. All sort of what someone starts to experience when they're moving into higher frequencies, higher dimensions, as well as starting to wake up. You start really seeing the synchronicities and things. You might also suddenly have a very, very strong desire for truth, for your truth, for living your truth. You might notice that your eating habits change, the cravings that you used to have. You might notice that all of a sudden you want more organic food. You might start noticing this in people around you, that's changing for them. Your dreams. Oftentimes when someone's moving into higher states of awareness or starting to really wake up, they start having very prophetic dreams, and things coming to them in dreams, information coming to them in dreams. You might also start noticing numbers. This was a big one for a lot of people. 111, 1111, 222, a particular birth date or number like 313 or 818 that you see all the time, or 888. Numbers is a very common thing as you move up into energy. You might also start feeling a deep desire to manifest something deeper than just your human desires. That the manifestations of the human desires will sort of be less fulfilling to you, and a deeper desire to manifest those desires of your soul, and really understanding that you came here to manifest and convert light into form, and maybe even wanting a deeper understanding of what that means. You also might start experiencing more clairvoyancy, clairaudience, clairsentience, being more aware of your abilities, and having experiences that you don't know how to do these things, or how to heal that thing, or where the information is coming from, but you have a deep knowing of it and an awareness of it. It might come through other people's information for you, like a channel like this, or it may come through your own channeled writing or meditations. And just being aware, these are all very, very normal things that people go through as they move into higher levels of vibration, into higher states of awareness and consciousness, as well as they're going through their awakening experience. But remembering, as you step into living in a new earth, that it all starts within. And so I want to invite in the council and really open our hearts to fully remembering the promise that you made when you came here to this life experience, the divine mission that you have here as a wayshower, and what it really means to live in a new earth or a higher level of awareness and consciousness. So if you're new to the council, while their words are so beautiful and so profound and so powerful, I want to remind you that it's really about the vibration that they bring through. To me, and for many people, it's the absolute feeling of being home, being so loved, and in the sense of knowing in truth that you're really just remembering what you already know. And so for some people, it's a deeply emotional, moving experience. It's okay if you don't remember everything they say. It's more about the vibration that's coming through, and you can always listen back to the replay or the transcript. If you've never heard me bring through the council before, you'll notice that my voice changes a little bit, and the cadence and frequency of my speaking changes a bit. And as we go to the Q&A, I just want to invite you to speak with the council just like you would to me or a close friend or anyone in your life. You will find them to be so loving, even when they're helping you process through really deep things. So there's nothing really to do to prepare. Just close your eyes and open your heart. And the more you can stay in your heart and open to all that's coming through, you will feel a deep sense of love and a raising of your vibration as we bring in the council and we bring forth their beautiful activation today. So you'll hear a couple moments of silence as I bring them in. And after their message, we will go to your Q&A. When the council is complete, I usually get guided to just hang up and allow you all to be in the energy that has come through for all of us today, remembering that this is a collective experience. This is a collective awakening and ascending into higher levels of awareness and consciousness. No matter when you listen to this, they are always with us. They are always available to you. And so I encourage you to listen back to this replay as many times as you wish. You will hear more and more every time. So with that, give me just a few brief moments as we bring in the council. We are so pleased to have the opportunity to speak with you all on this fine day. We tell you that while our words are important, this is a vibrational experience of the remembering of the truth of who you really are and why you are here and what you intended when you chose this life experience. And if you have heard us say those words before, we assure you that you are here to be part of this great awakening of your human family. You are here to guide the path forward, to bring forth a higher awareness of what is possible in this human experience. You are here to lead with your heart, to be love in action, to bring forth light, to bring forth a better way, and to illuminate the path forward. But remembering that this path forward has not been known by humankind in the form that you are in now. And so you are entering into a brave new world, sort of say, and you are the courageous ones who came forth and took a body and said, I will go forth, and I will guide humanity towards a better way forward. I will help them to remember what is possible. And yet, in all of that, you knew you were not coming here to save a broken world. You are coming here to light the path forward, to create a new way, a better way. And we assure you, you know exactly how to do that. You knew you would never forget the power within you, the love within you. So we want to take you back so that you can remember the promise you made. We'd like to say so long ago, but it is a promise that you make every day and every moment that you are here. You not only made a promise, but a promise was made to you. The promise was made to you. And that is important, and just as important as the promise that you made. So, from your highest state of awareness, pure positive source energy, the love and the light that you are, one with source, one with all that is, fully emerged into the love and the light that you are, you gaze down upon this earth with a twinkle in your eye because you so loved humanity and earth and the planet and the animals. And from your place of pure, positive source energy, you looked down on this earth experience, this experience of form in the physical of this dimension. Although you did not look down from a hierarchical place of being better, you just gazed upon earth from the highest vibration of the truth of who you are. And you so love your human family. Do you remember how much you love them? Do you remember gazing upon your human family from the pure positive source energy that is you, remembering that there was only love for them, and the plants and the land and the animals here? And from that place of remembering the truth of humankind, you said, I will go. Please, I will go. I want to go love them. I want to go remind them of the power within them. I want to go. I want to bring peace and joy and love to my human family. I want to remind them that it's so much easier than they're making it. I want to restore harmony in the world. I want to restore abundance for all humankind. I want to guide humanity to a better way forward. and you were not afraid. You knew your power. You knew your power. You knew who you were. You knew that you were light focusing in physical form. You knew that you were never separate from the source that created you and everything. You knew that you could always tune in to your feelings for the answers. You knew you could always, the feeling being that you are, feel your way through and always know which path to take, which turn to make, and which way to go. You would know whether something was right for you or belonged to you by the way that you felt, not your emotions, that deeper, deeper feeling place. But you knew that your emotions would show you how closely you were aligned to your truth. And you also knew the power of your thoughts, your mind, your imagination to create the world around you. So from your highest vantage point, fully remembering the truth of who you are, at the time when you chose to come here, you knew that it was the most exciting time that would ever happen as the Great Awakening was about to occur on earth, that an entire humankind was going to be elevated into a higher state of conscious awareness. And it was important. Understand that the Great Awakening of humanity does not mean anything has been completed. It's really just the beginning of what's coming in this experience. Imagine what is possible for a world that is fully awakened to the love and the light and the joy and the abundance and the peace and the harmony and the cooperation that is here and available. What then? First, you came forth to go through your own Great Awakening. Indeed, so that you would be very, very clear on what you wanted this new paradigm to look like. And then you were here to guide the path forward so humanity could go through their Great Awakening. Yes, your beloved human family. And from there, you would decide from a fully conscious and awakened collective where you would go next, knowing what was really possible for humankind, living in higher states of awareness and consciousness and existence. Do not forget this part. Do not forget that your own Great Awakening and the Great Awakening of your human family was really just the beginning of the incredible potential for humankind. Indeed, in order to create a new paradigm and live in the new earth, you must first create it within you. So what most all of you have been going through is a purification of your soul, is a letting go of your earthly burdens, of finding any place within you that is not of love, finding any place within you that is not of pure source, any place within you that is not of peace and abundance and joy, and allowing it to come to the light so it could be transmuted back into love, so that the world that existed within you was congruent with the world that you wanted to create around you. Many of you are fully transcending this peace at this time. And whenever you're listening to this, we assure you, it is your time. It is your time. Know that as you move into higher states of conscious awareness, all thoughts and everything is known. The more you raise your vibration, the higher state of vibration you're in, everything is known. So your communication is indeed transparent, which is why your thoughts must be impeccable. This is such a huge part of your own self-mastery. It is about getting beyond all need to forgive to the truth that there is only love. It is about acting with perfect kindness. It is knowing that what you focus on, you will only get more of. It is about allowing the unfolding, staying conscious and present and aware enough until your actions become choiceless. It's about remembering that you are here to practice impeccable creative expression dedicated to the highest evolution of all souls. It is about allowing your own expansion and the expansion of your collective to happen with ease, with effortlessness, harmoniously. You came forth knowing that you were not alone and you could never be alone. There was a promise made to you, too. It was the promise that those of us in non-physical would stay here for you so that you would not lose your way and that you would take an earthly body in the same form to show others the way so that they too would not forget. We want you to understand this. It is not a higher than or better than, but those of us in non-physical and those who you love that have made their transitions back to non-physical, they are here holding the light for you so that you do not lose your way, so that you do not forget. You are focusing in physical form. You are indeed experiencing life in a way that has never been done before in human form. You are moving into situations and experiences and opportunities that have never existed for human form. So you are here to integrate the human experience into a higher state of conscious awareness, into a higher state of being. You are here to integrate the two spaces. As those that are here raising the vibration and bringing forth a higher vibration, allowing love and light to flow through your being such that it helps raise the consciousness level around you, you are positively contributing to the raising of the vibration. But many of you would say that is what a light worker does. And yet it was known that it was so important for some to be leading and showing others through this form of what this new paradigm looks like. What do relationships look like? What does wealth and abundance look like? What does community look like? What does health and well-being look like in a form that has never been seen in the human experience like this? And bringing forth what's possible. You are not here to save a broken world. You're not here to change others. We want to make this really clear. Just as we, those in non-physical or source or your guides or angels or whatever you want to call those on the other side, they're not here to fix you because there's something wrong with you. And you're not here to fix humanity because there's something wrong with them. They don't need saving. They just need to remember their way to the light, which is why we are here for you. And then, being the leaders that you are, you had great gifts that you wanted to give to your human family that you loved so dearly. You said, I will bring these gifts through me. I will express myself. I will create beauty. I will shine like never before in this world so that others may also remember what's possible for them. So your gifts are not something that you have likely trained for in this human experience. You likely have no memory of why you have the talent or the ability that you have. You likely struggle the most with believing in your talent and your ability because you do not remember that it was part of this mission, and you trained extensively for the abilities and the talents that you have. And they are not all the same. You each have unique things that you are here to share. However, we assure you that you do get to choose. You do get to choose how you want to share your gifts. Your purpose is to live your highest potential. Your highest potential is to live fully conscious and awakened in this human experience, taking in all that it means to be human and in this physical dimension, but also deeply integrating that with the higher states of consciousness and the higher states of awareness, where so much more is possible for you and so much more opens up to you as you begin to fully awaken to all that you are and all that's possible. There is not one of you that still really understands your highest potential here. Now, we're not saying that it's going to be very likely that any of you start parting the seas or walking on water. It's really not necessary. And we assure you that just as importantly, though, the things that you really are capable of doing have just as great of an impact on the world around you. But it is through your humility as a wayshower. It is through your love as a wayshower. It is through compassion and kindness as a wayshower that you will help others remember the power and the potential within them. And so there is a great promise. You did come here on a mission. If you are listening to this, if you are hearing our words, we assure you, you are here on a divine mission as a wayshower during the Great Awakening of humanity. Your entire awakening experience has been divinely guided. You are never, ever alone, even in your darkest hours. We assure you that everything is happening for you in perfect time, in the divine right time, in the divine right way. And you are beginning to open fully to all that you are, which is what allows your light to shine so brightly. And you will begin to even more deeply purify your being and amplify your light such that you start going through a reuniting process where you consciously come together with those who are also on this mission, which will make it so much easier for you. It is about fully integrating all of who you are and all that is available to you which is fully integrating the knowledge and the wisdom and the guidance that's here for you, but it's also fully integrating with your teammates, sort of say, that are also here at this time to be part of the Great Awakening and to be Wayshowers, all of you in your own unique way. You can't do it the way anyone else does it, and no one else will be able to do it precisely your way. You are all unique and special in your own way. You will all lead and show the way in your own towns, in your own communities, in your own businesses, in your own families, with your own friends, in a unique and wonderful way. If you've been looking for your opportunity, if you've been waiting for the call, we assure you, you already answered it long ago. You answered the call to come forth and be part of this incredible time in your human experience. We also tell you, from the highest states of consciousness and existence, there is no time and space like what you experience on Earth. Time is one of your greatest manifestations. Time is one of your greatest manifestations. And yet, we understand from your perspective that you do experience chronological time. Part of the next awakening you personally will all go through as you move into higher states of consciousness and awareness is being able to access all the different aspects of you and all of those gifts and talents and abilities and resources that are available to you. So, you cannot take your shame, your feelings of unworthiness, your fear, your victimness, your blame. You cannot take them into higher states of awareness. If you have been feeling stuck, this is precisely why you are not feeling like you're really living your purpose or your mission. It's because you're in the old stories. You're still in the pains of the past. And they cannot go with you. And there's no judgment here, ever. But understand that it is a choice every day that you make. What you're thinking, what you're focused on, what you're feeling. And if right now, in this moment, you will decide once and for all, I am living my destiny. I am living my purpose. I know my mission. I remember the promise I made, and I remember the promise that was made to me. I choose it. I choose it. I choose it. Which means that you choose your power. You choose your light. You choose love. You choose compassion. You choose kindness. Everything in your life experience is for you. And you knew when you came forth into this human experience that there was nothing outside of you happening to you. You were not a puppet on a string. You are a powerful co-creator of your life experience. And the more you allow yourself to co-create with Source, and the more you feel your own connectedness to the Source within you, the more easily and effortlessly your life will unfold for you. Your mission will get easier. You will feel your alignment to your purpose. And you will begin to feel a sense of ease and excitement for each day. As a Wayshower, every day you have an opportunity. Every day you're on a special mission. Every day you're on a special mission to choose love, to choose compassion, to choose kindness, to choose unity, to illuminate the path forward, a better way forward, and to use the actions that you take as leaders to create a new paradigm, to understand that anything in your experience is an opportunity to create a new paradigm that is aligned with the highest truth of who you are. It's perplexing to us at times what could be so good about your old stories and fear and separateness, and yet there's never any judgment. But if you knew what was here for you, if you knew what was possible for you, if you really, just for one moment, could feel the limitless potential within you to do anything, to be anything, to really have it all here in this human experience, you wouldn't spend one more moment in the old stories or talking about the way it was, or things that you don't want any more of, if you knew your power to create in this moment anything and everything. And yet, we assure you, most all of you still can't even imagine your highest potential in human form. But some of you can feel it, can't you? And if you will go into your heart, it is always there for you. It might not be logical. You might not know how you're going to do it all. That's not your job. That's the promise that Source made to you. That's the promise that was made to you. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to make it happen on your own. You don't have to force it all. You just have to remember who you really are and why you're here and what you intended. To choose your mission, choose your real purpose for being here. And in that, it would all unfold with ease and grace in the most easy, effortless, harmonious ways. So, a new earth, heaven on earth, it's here for all of you. It always has been, but now it's really possible for you on a daily basis to be your experience in physical form, and yet living fully present to all that you are from the highest states of conscious awareness. And to understand that as you do this, you make it so much easier for others to also find their way. So we could not be more delighted for this experience over the coming week's time with all of you as we guide you to fully remember your path here as a Wayshower, your divine mission, the dream within your heart. We say this often, the dream within your heart. the dream within your heart, the really big dream within your heart. It's not a car, not a particular person, not a certain amount of money. There's something much, much more. There's a bigger dream. There's a deeper dream that can only be described as the promised land, heaven on earth, the new earth, the dream of the new earth within your heart. Peace and joy and love and harmony for the world, for your human family, for the planet and for the animals, where there is joy and love in every human heart. But it is not your job to create it. It's your job to be it. It's your job to envision it, to hold the vision of a better way forward. It is the dream within your heart. And it is the integration of using your imagination, although we tell you you're not imagining it, it's already here, but to use your imagination to go into the vision of a new earth, a better way, the higher dimensions that are here for you. There's so much beauty. There's so much beauty. There's so much beauty in the vision of a new earth. So integrating the balance between holding the vision of a better way, holding the vision of the new earth, and simultaneously, on a daily basis, creating it in physical form with your life, creating the new paradigm and merging the two worlds together as you begin to consciously and intentionally remember that that's what you're doing on a daily basis. And we will talk much more about this when we talk about converting light into form, of how you integrate the two worlds, the higher vibration and the world of form that you are all in. And so this is going to be such an exciting experience with all of you. We delight in being here to guide you and help you remember who you really are, so that you can always, in every moment, find your way home, where you know that you are protected, that you are, in a sense, always aware of your abundance and well-being, and so deeply connected to all that is and the source within you at all times. Remember the promise. Remember your promise. And remember the promise made to you. This is such an exciting time. So, we will go to your questions.
Hi, Council. So I'm not 100% sure if this is on topic, so feel free to steer it into more general terms if need be. But as you're speaking, the thing that kept coming to mind for me, because this is a place I've been in for a while, is just knowing this new paradigm that I want to create around, really two, a new paradigm around our work and how we serve humanity, but also a new paradigm around money. And so what I feel really strongly is that in any work that we're here to do, and obviously we're doing it to serve humanity because we're Wayshowers, I want it to feel like a hobby, that it's something that I choose to do because it feels good, it feels fun. And I got inspiration from stories that I heard of people who are living this way, that anything that they choose to do, they simply do because they do it for the joy of it and the hobby of it. But in those examples, how they got to that place where they could choose whatever they wanted to do, it started with a whole lot of work and time and effort. And I don't feel like I need to do the time and the effort. So I want to have the abundance piece, part of, just feeling that security and knowing that the abundance and prosperity is just there, so that I'm free to do whatever I want to do in the world. And I was just wanting to see what you had to say in regards to any of that to help me get some, yeah.
Let us start here. First off, so take a breath and close your eyes.
Okay.
And you may even put your hand on your heart if that feels good to you.
Mm-hmm.
So when we say, do you remember, without getting too specific, just stay general here, do you remember the dream in your heart?
Yeah.
Yeah. You would not have agreed to come here if it wasn't going to be fun, if you weren't going to be abundant. It is your divine birthright to express yourself, to create, to play and have fun, to be free and abundant. Do you know all of this?
Mm-hmm.
So, from the highest truth of who you are, you remember, without getting too specific, just staying general,
Mm-hmm.
the dream in your heart. If we were to say to you anything other than what we just said, it wouldn't feel very good to you. So if we were to say, do you remember that you were supposed to come here and work really, really hard?
No.
Does that feel very good to you?
It does not feel good. Nope.
Do you remember when you chose to come here so you could struggle and sacrifice and struggle to pay your bills? Do you remember making that promise?
No.
Seems silly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But here's what happened. From the highest place of the truth of the knowing of who you are, you know within your heart the truth of you and what's possible for you and the way you intended it to be, or you wouldn't have chosen to come here. But you've been in this human experience for quite a long time and started to really believe in the limitation that the collective believes in.
Yeah.
You don't understand that the belief came before the experience. The belief of you have to work hard to make money came long before the experience of it.
Mm-hmm. I remember as a child.
Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say, I remember as a child absolutely believing money and everything was supposed to be easy, that it was really easy. And I remember being corrected. So, yeah, but I do remember feeling that.
We're going to take you all through a process because you asked this question. So we're going to take you through this process, then we're going to go back to your question, but we think it'll make it easier. So if you just for a moment, wherever you are, if you're in a place that you can do so, close your eyes and take a deep breath and do what our friend did, put your hand on your heart. And if you think about the dawning of humanity, the very first type of work that humanity ever did was working the land, long before there were computers or all these different types of jobs. The first sort of work was working the land, to plant a seed for things to grow. So there is a seed within you. It is planted within your heart. And if it feels good to you, you might even take a moment and notice the color of this seed. Maybe you even notice that it's a golden seed, but it is planted within your heart. And as you notice the seed planted within your sacred heart, and you move your attention from your head down into your heart, and you put your hand on your heart, and you focus in this space around your sacred heart, you will begin to notice an activation of the soil that this golden seed is planted in. So when we tell you to move into your heart, when we tell you to put your hand on your heart, when we tell you to focus your power that's in your heart, it's because that's what activates the golden seed, so that you can remember the dream in your heart and bring it to life. That's the work. The seed. Allowing your seed to grow in lush, nourished, joyful, happy, peaceful, loving soil, abundant soil. The more your thoughts are of abundance, the more your thoughts are of appreciation and love and peace and joy, the faster your seed will grow, the bigger your seed will grow, the brighter your seed will grow. If you were to think about your work as just this one thing, it's to tend to the golden seed within your heart, the dream within your heart. Focus your attention down into your heart to activate this power within you, to let it shine through you. You will get very clear on what it is you are to do. But it is when you get in your head and you try to figure it out and you compare yourself to others and you criticize yourself and you start setting up ways to compete with one another and you start going through all these very limited things, that all of a sudden you're so fragmented that the soil is not fully activating the seed. The light is not fully activating the seed. The water, the nourishment, everything that's trying to activate the seed within your heart. It's like none of that gets to the seed within you. So if you would think of the work as to tend to your garden, think of the work as to tend to the seeds within your heart or the seeds within your heart and allow them to grow and nurturing them so that they sprout and become the biggest, strongest dreams. But if you are tending to a garden and remembering that it's there, that sometimes that the seed hasn't fully sprouted above the surface yet, but you still tend to the garden because you know it's there. You planted the seed. That's how you know it's there. You know right where it is. So let it grow. Let it become all it's meant to be. Remember this, activating the golden seed within your heart. And we'll go back to your question for a moment. We tell you that one of the ways you limit the universe is by not having a passion or a hobby, having things that you're really passionate about. The things that are really passionate about, they will lead you to the dreams in your heart. Leadership, if the dreams in your heart do not get you really excited, if the dreams in your heart are not empowering and inspiring, then they're not really dreams in your heart, they're dreams in your head. If they seem overwhelming and too big and frustrating and impossible, then they're not the dreams in your heart, because you're in your head trying to figure it out. So if you will stay in this place and understand there is so much more going on here than you can see, and remembering that there's a plan here. Your awakening was part of the plan. Your human family's great awakening is part of the plan. Where you're going next after all of that is also part of the plan. You can't get it wrong. You can choose to make it really difficult for yourself and frustrating and suffer if you choose. But that's not the way you intended it to be, which is why it doesn't feel very good.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to abundance for a moment. Let's go back to that you cannot create it in the world around you unless you first create it within you.
Yeah.
You absolutely must find the passion within you. What lights you up? What brings you joy? What feels good? What would you do today if you could do anything, if you were absolutely free and had every comfort you could possibly imagine, that there was absolutely nothing that could hold you back? What would you do today?
Are you asking me? Is that rhetorical?
See? But this is why you have a question. This is why you are still stuck in the belief about work and having to make money, even though you know that's not the truth and it's not the dream in your heart. That's why it's still a bit incongruent in your vibration. Is because if you would wake up each day and say, I have everything I'm ever going to need, I can do anything, I absolutely have the power, I have every resource, I have every possible thing that I need, I have every comfort, every luxury, I have the means to do anything and everything I wish to do right here, right now, and you woke up and said, what am I going to do with my day, knowing all of that? Most of you don't think like that and can't answer that question, which is why you still create the limited experience of having to have a job and a business and some way to make money, because you're not approaching it from that vibration. Do you understand the difference?
Oh, totally. I've been playing with that and like feeling into that and stuff. I think there's still a little bit of this, well, I know that there's work I want to do, so, but I guess that can just be, that's just part of the joy. If I feel like that's what I want to do in the day, that's part of what I do in the day. But if it's not, that's okay too, right?
Indeed.
Okay.
And so tell us, so you still have a few hours left of your day, or you can say for tomorrow. If you had everything you could possibly need, absolute freedom, absolute abundance, money, resources, connections, anything you could possibly do tomorrow, that would bring you great joy, that you would be passionate about, that you'd really get excited about, what would you do?
I would go to the gym, because I have been feeling I haven't had time for that. So and that has been a time thing. So I would go to the gym, I would relax and read and have a tea, and then I'd probably do some writing.
So do that and continue to ask yourself this question. So you don't have to make a whole lot of more money today to do that tomorrow, do you?
Nope.
So then the second question is, but what if in a year from now I want to do something really big and I need a lot more money and I need a lot more resources? And this is where you get yourself out of alignment every time. Is because you're living in a year from now, trying to figure out a year from now, trying to figure out your resources in a year from now, versus really staying in this absolute integrity of alignment, which is moment to moment to moment to moment, and letting it unfold. But what is my highest excitement? What would my highest joy be? What would my highest excitement be? What would really inspire me and light me up, and what would I be so passionate about? And here's the thing. The other way you get yourself really out of alignment is trying to figure out how to make that happen. And even more so, you can go into the vibration of that. You can really feel that. And then you say, well, I can't do this because, and this is where you lose all your power and why it doesn't manifest, or why it doesn't manifest easily, effortlessly, harmoniously. Because you then go through and give all your power away. Well, I can't do it because so-and-so won't let me. I can't do it because this thing hasn't happened. I can't do it because of this thing over here. And then you start giving your power away to all these things, and then you wonder why it doesn't manifest. It's not because you don't have the ability to instantly manifest impeccably that which you desire. It's because you go into the vibration of it, you feel it, you really align with it, and then you squash it by giving your power away, which is what is allowing you to impeccably and instantly create those things that you desire.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And
definitely.
Stay general. Unless it's very clear to you, stay general. So if you want to write or you want to write a book, if you had all the money in the world and you wrote the book and nobody bought it, but you just gave it away for free, would it still be your highest excitement and passion to write it? Only write it when you're in that space. The same with the job, the same with the business, the same with everything. Now, we're not saying that great amounts of wealth and prosperity and abundance and money isn't going to flow to you in expected and unexpected ways, easily, effortlessly, and harmoniously, because it absolutely will, and we'll get more into that as we talk about converting light into form. But that's the vibration. That's the integrity you should be putting into your creation, which is your light. That's what draws things to you. That's what really amplifies the passion in your life. Do you understand?
Yeah, definitely. When you mentioned the thinking too far ahead, that really stood out. There's definitely that piece had been playing where it's like, well, I should do this because then I'll have this in place for down the road. Yeah. So it's coming back into the moment. That really feels good.
If you do it from the I have everything I could imagine ever wanting right here in this moment, I already have it, so is this still my highest excitement? Is this still something I'm really passionate about? If the answer is no, then don't do it.
Yeah.
But answer the question, and your highest excitement in this moment might be to go have dinner with your family. Your highest excitement in this moment might be to go take a bath. The thing you're most passionate about right now in this moment might be to go pet the dog or pet the cat. But do what is your highest excitement in every moment. And understand, we're going to get much more into this in the next few parts. Your self-expression is a critical part of being a wayshower here. You creating beauty is really what you're going for here, our friend.
I like that.
You don't want to work. It's not even so much about having a hobby. A hobby sort of has the energy of something to keep me busy. I'm going to get a hobby to keep me busy. But this is, how do I want to really create beauty in the world around me? What am I really passionate about? How do I want to express myself in physical form through a product or a service or a painting or a book or a writing? How do I want to express myself in physical form? Because you're here in the physical dimension, so you want to express yourself in some physical form. So some people do that through a work or a job title or a business or a piece of art. But you will only feel really aligned when you are expressing yourself in some way creatively. Because you're here as a creator. You're here to create. You're creating all the time, whether you're aware of it or not. Most of the time you're just creating what you don't want. Or you're saying, I don't know what my purpose is, so you're creating more of feeling not aligned with your purpose. You understand?
Yes, that's really good. Thank you.
Very good. These answers were for all of you. And if you really go back and listen to it and read it again, you'll find that there were so many answers to so many things in that one question. So thank you, our friend. We love you. Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Love you too.
Our next question, are you there?
Hello?
Hello, our friend. What is your question?
Council, my name is Joan. I listened to what you said about responsibility and having a choice. And sometimes it's not the responsibility because everything is in order. But what happens to the animals and the continuation of certain people still taking advantage of them. They're supposed to be starting hunting whales again. Aren't we responsible for the animals on the planet who don't have a choice and can't defend themselves like that? How do we go forward?
So we want you to remember something first.
Yes?
The animals chose to come here just as you did.
Yes.
They chose from pure positive source energy to come here. Now, some animals have very individualized soul-like experiences or soul experiences. Some come as a collective, absolutely choosing here to be here as part of that collective. They have intention. Now, you tend to identify very closely with animal species that have higher levels of consciousness. So whales, highly conscious. Dogs, highly conscious. Elephants, highly conscious. Dolphins, highly conscious. Pigs, highly conscious. Cats, highly conscious. Bigger animals tend to be something you relate more with, having a higher level of conscious awareness. And they do.
Yes.
But what happens is you seeing them as powerless is not their truth, just as you seeing others as powerless is not their truth, just like you thinking you're powerless doesn't feel very good. It's not your truth. Remember the power in the animals. Remember their consciousness. Remember their choosing. So here's the thing that messes you up. We said what you focus on, you get more of. You get more of, not less of. So there is one thing that you're seeing that is upsetting you. We understand. We understand. But there's also many, 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 many people who have chosen to stop hunting whales because their own consciousness has evolved to a level where they choose no longer to harm the animal. So we want you to get this because it's really important.
Mm-hmm.
If you're out there trying to save every quote-unquote helpless animal that is suffering, you will suffer. That's not the way that you intended to lead humanity through this. From a state of consciousness, when you are conscious and as you move up through higher states of consciousness, you don't harm other things. A highly conscious person is not harming an animal or a person intentionally. Now, even as you move through higher and higher states of consciousness, you might realize ways that you're harming the land that you didn't even know about. But the more conscious you become, the more aware you become, and the more kinder, compassionate, more loving person you become. What you really want here, and this is part of you remembering your own promise. This is part of you remembering the Great Awakening. You didn't intend to get lost in every piece of suffering that you would see around you. You are going to remember the power within them, and you are going to remember that as you raise the consciousness level collectively and individually in your own experiences, that from the higher states of consciousness, people choose love, compassion, and kindness and unity. If everyone were awake on your planet, you would choose kindness and cooperation with the animals and the land and each other. Your job is in your world to choose kindness, compassion, oneness, unity, love, for all things in your particular world. And if you find yourself in a situation where it's actually in your space, that's your responsibility. If you have an unwavering, if we say, what is your highest excitement? What is the thing that you're the most passionate about? And your thing is to go to Africa and be with the elephants, then go. Then go. But if you didn't answer that, then in this moment, it's not your job to be with the elephants. there's probably not one of you that when we said, what is your highest excitement and your greatest passion, your greatest joy if you went to do it tomorrow, that you would choose to go see the suffering of a person or an animal on this planet. Because it's not your highest excitement and your highest joy. That's what we want you to go follow. Now, in doing so, we want you to remember that your light is really important. What you shine your light on is what you're voting for, what you're drawing attention to, what you're getting more of. So, are there places that are celebrating whales in a wonderful way? Are there places that are doing great and wonderful things for the whales on the planet? Are there universities and organizations and philanthropic organizations that are doing wonderful things for the whales? Go shine your light on that. Go direct your focus on that. Go bring more of that to the light. Because, number one, that's what will make the greatest difference. But more importantly, because you'll feel so much more happy and excited and joyful about doing that than trying to fight against these places of unconsciousness. When you are seeing the whales being hunted and you're thinking about it and you're going into the stories and you're reading the stories about it, you care because you love the whales. That's a wonderful thing. There's a point of clarity there for you as you're sifting through the contrast of this life experience. There's clarity there for you. But don't get so upset by what other people are choosing, because part of coming here, you knew that you got to choose and everybody else got to also choose. But even in heaven on earth, you don't all choose the same things. Would it be okay to take the life of a whale for the betterment of humankind if it was done kindly and humanely? Some people think that's okay. Some people think it's never okay. Some people don't understand that the whales have any consciousness at all. And yet when you think you know what another soul's journey should be, you cause your own suffering. It affects your own alignment. It takes your own power. Now all of a sudden you're running around with aspects of your power going in all different directions, and you're going to feel very helpless and powerless to make a difference or be a wayshower or guide people through a better way forward. You understand?
Yes.
Does this all make sense to you?
It does.
Did we answer your question?
I see. Yes, I see. Because I've been aware, I lived in Australia for a while, and I went to an area where the whales would come in, and listening to the sounds, I just knew that they were communicating at a very high frequency.
Perfect. There you go. We're going to stop you right there really quick. Just we want you to get that. So
yes.
If you would have come onto this call, so in any situation, you can shine the light on what you love.
Yes.
Talk about that experience, because that really did happen in your space. That really, when we say your responsibility is to take responsibility for yourself and see yourself and everything and everyone around you, and what is in your space is your responsibility. That was in your space. That's how you know it's for you. What was it? It was good. It was beautiful. It was positive. You saw the awareness in them. You saw how sacred they are. You heard and felt the vibration of their beings. Talk about that. Tell people about that. Write a book about that. Whatever it is that is passionate to you, shine your light. Be love in action around that. Don't try to go fight against what isn't in your space. You understand?
Yes.
How
Makes
many
sense.
people would be inspired by hearing about your wonderful experience with the animal and their vibration and their sound? What about telling children about that? What about writing some sort of children's book or telling stories or getting involved in organizations that do things like that? We'll tell you something. really important. If you want to change your entire planet in one generation, it's the children. If you want the next generation to be kind and caring and compassionate towards whales, teach them about how sacred they are. Don't tell them about the killing and the slaughtering and the terrible things. They will naturally gravitate towards the truth and the love and the kindness and the compassion. They'll remember that. And it's not just children, but you can inspire and align to the innocent nature of everyone. This is also what you're going for here, which is, what is it about the animals? It's their innocence. That's what they reflect to you. If everyone was in their innocence, there would be love and kindness and compassion for all beings. But when you go into pushing against and blaming and shaming and upset with people and feeling like a victim and feeling the animals are victimized, you're not in your innocence. Your innocence has power. When you're in your innocence, shining the light on things that are also of innocence, which is love and compassion and kindness and goodness, you'll appeal to that innocence within all. That's the power to really change things on your planet. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. We hope you found our answer to be helpful, our friends.
Very much so. Thank you so much, Council.
Very good. We love you, our friend. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Indeed. We'll take a few more questions here. Our friend, are you there?
Hi. Yes, Council. I'm here. My question is on if I have planted the seed in my heart for healing of my body and my life, and I'm beginning to wonder now if I think that I've been visualizing that and thinking about that, but have I been thinking about my sickness instead, and that's why I'm getting more of it? Or
we'll give you something really easy here. This will help you a lot.
Okay.
Did you see the golden seed within your heart? When we did the process with our friend, could you go into your a vision or imagination and see the golden seed, maybe even a golden seed of light within your heart?
Yes.
Yes. So imagine that you thought that seed was somehow defective. The seed was not a very good seed, maybe. Not sure if that seed's really a healthy seed. I don't know if it's going to sprout because it might be a defective seed. So when the dream in your heart is a healthy body, you've got to know that healthy body, that state of health and well-being, is planted within a perfect golden seed of light. Which means understanding that your body is perfect the way it is in this moment, and yet through your light and your love, raising your vibration, that your body is always seeking to heal, always seeking to align with its well-being and perfection, not needing anything about your body to change in this moment for you to be okay. And we'll also tell you that for you specifically, the story of your body not being well and healthy and in your well-being has been a story for a long time. And yet, if you would just have some fun with starting to tell a new story about your body, just for fun, write a little story for yourself about the healthy, happy, wealthy woman. Go into your imagination and write a little story about the healthy, happy, wealthy woman. Mm-hmm. And what did she do on her adventures? And who did she meet along the way? And write it in a playful, innocent sort of way, maybe like a children's book where it's lighthearted and fun. Write that story. Start telling that story. And then see if that doesn't begin to merge your two worlds together. And we'll go much more into this in moving light into form. But if you would have a bit of fun with this, you would start to see things shift for you. You understand?
Yes.
Yes. We see your body, and we see the pure light and perfection and beauty that you are. If you would see it, it would feel so good to you. And that's why you want what you want anyway, is to feel good and to feel better. If you could see it from our perspective, see you from our perspective, the beautiful being that you are. In this moment, you would feel so, so good. You understand?
Yes, Council.
Very good. Thank you for your question, our friend. We love you.
Thank you, Council. I love you too.
Our next question, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for taking my call. Can you hear me?
Indeed. We can. What is your question, our friend?
Yeah, thank you. I want to go back to something you said earlier, which is about the promise that was made to us and to me. And I think I want to make sure I heard this correctly first, that one of them is we don't need to know what we have to do. It's only about remembering who we are and why we're here and just being fully present. I think I have that right.
You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to force or control anything. You don't have to push really hard and force it and make it happen. You don't have to roll the boulder up the hill with the big heavy boots on through the mud. We promise you. You're not here to force everything, control everything. That's not your job.
Great. Okay. So then I guess the day-to-dayness part that I want to ask you guidance on is, so things around me, the way my life is, that I'd like to change. And so what I'm hearing is the best way to go about that is just to keep focusing on, at the very least, the feelings that I want to create. So, for example, if I want to create my own home, let's say on the outside, I'm living with friends right now, then I've just been focusing on appreciating, feeling blessed, and blessing the home I'm in, and feeling grateful for safety and home. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to, like, just on the day-to-day life, how it works.
Yes. So first off, again, we go back to this, you must create it within you first.
Right.
So what you might say is, I'm feeling, and really get into the feeling of that it's, your home is beautiful. It's your creative workshop. It's inspiring, and there's a serenity to it. And it's filled with love and laughter. And just keeping it very general. Are there other people there? Are there animals there? What do you see around you? What do you feel around you? If you will really go into your imagination, just for a moment, just tell us generally what you see in your home.
Beauty, creativity, nature, animals, love, just a lot
Very
of
good.
like
So,
nourishment. Yeah.
You see it because it's not, you didn't just make it up. You don't all see the same thing. When you go into your imagination, you are actually getting a vision of something that already exists on some level. Now, we don't have the time to go fully into explaining all of this in this moment, but what we will go back to is when we said, as you raise yourself into higher states of awareness, you'll realize that time and space is not linear like you think it is. You're not making this up. It exists on some level, and you've been there, which is why you know what it looks like and why you know what it feels like, even when it's general, which means already in motion to you, it's already coming. This is part of moving light into form, which we'll go in much greater detail. But if you can really most of you, what you want to do is you want to go out and force an effort and take action and make things happen from a logical, how am I going to figure out how to get my own house sort of way. But if you would just take 5 minutes, that's it, every day, and sit quietly where you're not going to get interrupted, and close your eyes, put headphones on if you have them, so that you're just going as deeply within as you can, and just feel what it feels like to be living in that home. Go into your imagination and feel it. Journal about it if it feels good, but you don't have to. If you can really just go in and feel it for 5 minutes a day, first off, it should feel so good that you could stay there much longer, and you would like to stay there much longer because it feels so good. But because of that, you're in this limitless state. You're in this state of beingness. You're drawing it to you. You are taking light and converting it into form. You are focusing on it, and the more you're really focused on it, all of your power is focused on it, which means that you are orchestrating events, circumstances, situations in your space to start aligning to this thing that you want, and you're going to get it. But what happens is you get too specific. You create all this expectation. You think that that's going to be the best part is the house, and what we'll tell you is the best part's going to be your journey to it, which also means that where you are is part of the journey, which is also part of the best part.
Cool. Okay. Got it.
Make sense?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes. And again, we'll tell you all this because it's really important. We hear this so often. I want to go home. I want a home. I want to be home. I want to create a home. I want a new home. All of you on some level mean heaven on earth, a new earth, a higher dimension, a higher state of consciousness. That's really what you're really wanting. And if you will go there, you will find that from your higher state of consciousness and awareness and vibration, that a whole new set of laws and opportunities and potentials open up for you. Why go into a higher state of conscious awareness? Because there's so much more available there to you, which means you're not limited to the third dimensional ways of doing things and the old system of how it happens. It'll come to you. You'll be there. Most of you still want to go through the old limited way to get there. And when we say the old ways are not going to work for you anymore, we mean the old ways aren't going to work for you anymore. You don't want them to because you want to be in the limitless state of being and creating and what's possible for you. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that ending piece.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. We love you, our friend. We know we're getting a bit long here, but we really want to continue to get to as many of your questions because these are so good. So thank you, our friend. We love you. Our next question, are you there?
Yes, thank you so much, Council. This is my first time of actually knowing about you guys. So I'm very honored to be here in your presence.
We are always with you and always aware of you. You're just remembering us, and you have manifested the experience of moving us into your physical form. So we're talking about moving light into form, understanding that this is also a manifestation. You have moved your knowingness into physical form such that your human senses are now actually able to perceive the thing you wanted to manifest, which was truth and knowing and the remembering of who you are and why you're here.
Yes. So much so. Thank you so much. One of my questions I have is just in the last 3 weeks, because my voice has... Okay, I have a business of bringing joy to the world. Within the last 3 weeks, all of a sudden, my physical self is readjusting, my voice is readjusting with through fever and through different things my body is feeling, and all of a sudden my business has no flow of income, and I'm wondering.
We're just going to stop you here for a second, because this is important for all of you, and for those of you who are not part of our Master's Class program, you probably have not heard us say this, but this last month's time has been a huge amplification of energy, where a lot of you were clearing out really old stuff. You might have felt like you were taking 10 steps back. You might have felt more awful than you have in a while. There was a lot going on. We assure you, everything is fine. All is well.
Yes.
Today may be the first day that you've felt a little better in quite some time. And that's because of the shifts that have been going on. You have ushered in a new moon in today's time, which is by no accident that we are having this conversation with you, that this vibration is coming through today, because now it's time. A big part of what you've been going through is actually preparing you for this experience here. And yet all of this stuff that served you was just bringing to the light some old things that needed to clear to still continue to purify your being on a deeper level and letting some things go. But everything is well. We would actually invite you not even to go into the story too much of what's happened over the last month, because you've shifted out of it already. And yes, most all of you had a feeling of income, either feeling stopped, or you're feeling out of the flow with money, or money into your business wasn't flowing. That's all going to shift and move forward again. No matter if you're hearing this while this is being recorded live, or you're hearing this later, we assure you the timing will be perfect for you. It's going to all start flowing again. So just remember to be in the moment. Keep yourself in the flow, which means don't start going into lack and scarcity and shutting down where you're giving, which is going to take you out of the flow of receiving. We're going to talk a great deal about money, because it's an important part about the Wayshower path, but understand that what flows, giving the universe any and every way possible to deliver things to you, is a wonderful thing. Doing the things that you're passionate about, being in service of others, bringing joy to the world with your business, all a very wonderful thing. The universe can deliver to you easily, effortlessly, and harmoniously in expected and unexpected ways. So do the things that are bringing you joy, but also stay in the moment, and you can feel whether you're in the flow or not. And if you're in the flow, just trust that the money that is coming to you, it's a resource. Money is an energy. Money is an energy. Money that flows through your business is an energy. You understand energy. You understand light. You understand vibration. It's all the same thing. So when you're feeling better, and just get okay with these things. You're going to be processing things, which means that as you move into higher levels of vibration, higher states of consciousness, higher states of existence, every time you continue to do that, things that are not aligned with that are going to have to shift and either align with that, or they're going to move out of your space. You're always going to be changing and evolving and expanding. And as you do, what you do and how you do it, even if it's a business or a job, is going to also continue to change and evolve and expand. So we'll give you a funny analogy, but lobsters, when they're in a shell, and they shed their shell in order to grow. So it gets a little tight and uncomfortable right before they release the shell and start growing the new shell that's in alignment to how they're expanding. You just were shedding your old shell. That's the best way we can give it to you for all of you that are listening to this. So everything's fine. It's going to continue moving forward. Your business, you're going to have clarity, but also sometimes you've expanded beyond the work you're doing, and the source is trying to guide you in a new direction. If you just don't grasp onto the flagpole and try to hold on to the old and go with where the winds of change are trying to take you, you'll find it so much easier to navigate this change. change is not what trips you up. It's what you think about the change. And what you're thinking about the change is usually about what old change has meant, which is scary, uncomfortable. We're telling you, you are protected, you are abundant, you are in a state of well-being, you are connected at all times, and it's only going to get better. You understand?
Yes, yes, yes.
Very good. Did we answer your question without even letting you really ask it?
Yes, thank you.
We love you, our friends. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Our next question, are you there? Hello, our friend.
Hello?
Can you hear us? Hello.
Yes, I can. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello. Indeed. What is your question?
Okay. Well, part of my question was already answered with the woman that you said take 5 minutes each day to feel what you want to create. And I'm just wondering if I do this, can I eliminate my fears surrounding mediumship?
So we love your question, and yes. So for you, what's coming up specifically, and let us know if this feels right to you, but it's more of a fear of using your power and using your power impeccably. And so just know that you're safe to use your power and your gifts. You have prepared for this ability that you have. You didn't just magically stumble across it and decide, oh, that sounds like fun, I think I'll be a medium. Most of you don't decide, oh, that sounds fun, I think I'll be a channel or a medium or a healer. No, it's the talent or the gift or the ability you came here to share with the world. And so, yes, so you often ask us about work and doing work, and back to the question about work. The work that will really get you where you want to be is more vibrational work, more visioning work, more going into your imagination, feeling it, seeing it work. Because from that place, understand that's where the inspired ideas come from. That's where inspired actions will come from. Not because you go to that space and start demanding the inspired actions, but because from that vibration, any action that you need to take will come, and it'll come as an inspired action. We're going to tell you this really quick. Most of the time, you do not need to be taking inspired action. You really only need to be taking inspired action about 3% of the time. The rest of the time, you should be doing the things that bring you joy, creating beauty, having fun, delighting in your life, being passionate, loving others, doing the things that make you happy. The inspired action will come most easily when you're in that space. And it might be to put a shingle up and start a business. It might be to go to the coffee shop. It might be to call a certain person. It might be to do a certain thing. But you'll just feel this excitement and ease with it and clarity with it, unlike trying to make things happen. Now, for you, going in and really feeling, so what is the positive outcome of someone working with a medium?
Well, and the people I've worked with, they just seem so almost healed by having connected with a loved one. And so the way I do it is I'm clairaudient, so I write a physical letter, because I hear their loved one's words. So when they receive the letter, it's like they have just received this letter from their loved one, as though they got it from them and not from me, which is true. They did get it from them. And I felt good about it.
Let us tell you something. Let us ask you a question. Can you think of one person maybe that sticks out the most, that was most touched and healed and helped by your message? Just can you think of that one person, maybe bring them to your awareness?
Yes.
And how it felt to you to help them? Do you remember what that feels like?
Yes.
So Is that worth getting over your fear?
Yes. It's. I think where the fear comes in, I mean, I felt really good about it until people start saying, oh, that's not my loved one. No, that can't possibly. They would never have said that. And then I sink right down, and I think, nah, maybe I'm not supposed to do this. Maybe I'm not really connecting.
So, we have so much to bring into you. So part of, we did a piece on the 11 spiritual roles of the soul. And we'll just give you a little more general thing. You're a messenger.
Yes.
So does it feel more comfortable to you to say I bring messages through, I'm a messenger versus a medium? Yes. So that might help you a bit if you're bringing messages through. What's tripping you up a bit is the specificness. So first off, for most people, they don't understand that in the moment their loved one makes their transition back into pure positive source energy, that they everything is forgiven, they love you, they only see the good in you, they delight in you, they see the good in everything. They don't have this deep sense of regret or shame about anything. They're in pure positive source energy. So what they're going to say from that space is a bit different than what they would say if they were in their human body. When you feel for them, you can often feel their personality self, but some people may not have the conscious awareness to understand the viewpoint and perspective of their loved one now on the other side. But you know that, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So don't doubt it. Trust it. And it might be a message from their loved one, and it might be a message from a guide. It might be a message from something else. They're being so specific about the message that's coming through. How about just the message that comes through? So maybe being a little less specific of, I'm a messenger, I bring through messages from the other side, whatever is in your highest and best good and what you most need to hear that's coming from the other side, from absolute love and pure positive source energy. And here you go. It might help you now. It might help you in a month from now. It might help you in a year from now. It might not help you. Either way, don't lose, right? Does it all feel good?
Yes.
So when you get the transcript, you can take this specifically and apply it to your own language. So you can feel, so that you can do. There's no fear about that, right?
Right.
So you were just getting a little too specific. And it tripped you up a bit. It's your opportunity to just go back to be a little more general, get to a place that does feel good. You know that's what you do. You know that's what's coming through. And understand, you are wayshowers here. You are also a messenger. You're a guide. You're an uplifter. You're all sorts of things. But understand, when and how your human family wakes up is not up to you.
Okay.
They may not be able to fully receive the gift you've given them in this moment. They may be able to receive it in a week or a month or a year, and you might not even be there when they do receive the gift.
Okay.
But know that you have given it.
Very good.
And you're going to continue to get better and more comfortable with this all the time. It's a journey. You're always going to be expanding your awareness, your consciousness, which will expand the light and the love that comes through you, which will expand your vibration and your energy. It just keeps getting better. Not that you're not perfect, just the way you are right now. You understand?
I do. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We love you, our friend. We'll take one more quick question here because we want to get through as many as possible. Are you there, our friend?
Hi, yes, Council. Thank you for taking my question. I think I've gleaned a lot of information already about the answer to this question, but I wanted to know if you had any further guidance on, I don't really have a job or any income at this point, and part of me gets stuck in the fact that I can't sit around painting all day and just expect money to flow. So I don't. It's just a mental thing. I know.
Well, we'll just stop you here. I don't have a job and I don't have an income. That's what you're sending out to the universe. I don't have a job. I don't have an income. So,
right.
First off, we'll tell you abundance is to be plentiful in the good things in life. To have a plentiful supply of the good things in life. Water, sunlight, food, shelter, electricity, friendship, kindness, connection, animals, nature. Do you have a plentiful supply of the good things in life?
Yes.
So shift your income to abundance. I am plentiful in the good things in life. I am in alignment with the flow of life, giving and receiving. What's really going on here is you're not really valuing what you're giving. You don't really know if what you're giving is valuable. So you're kind of blocking the universe to deliver more goodness and flow to you because your belief is really tied up in job and income. If we were to give you the easiest thing, write this down. Money flows to me easy, effortlessly, and harmoniously in abundant or in expected and unexpected ways. Money flows to me easily, effortlessly, and harmoniously in expected and unexpected ways. If you would make this your truth, money would start flowing to you easily, effortlessly, harmoniously in expected and unexpected ways. And more importantly, we want you to understand this, the inspired ideas of ways to exchange your gifts for income and money and abundance and prosperity will also come if you affirm this. Money flows to me easily, effortlessly, harmoniously in expected and unexpected ways. It could come through income, but it might come through somewhere else. But understand, either the idea for something you could do in exchange for money, expected, unexpected sources of money will come. That's that part. Number first part, you said that I'm not working. You are working. You being on this call is working. You seeing your limiting beliefs is working. You going deeper is working. You continuing to expand and grow and going into higher states of consciousness and awareness. That's the real work part. You taking responsibility for your life and everything that happens in it and your life around you and creating within you the world you want to create around you. That's all the real work. Your vibration is the work. Your alignment is the work. Your imagination is the work. Using your imagination and going into your visualization. All of that is work. And then also put yourself in the world. Connect with others, even if it's going to the coffee shop, even if it's going to do things that just allow yourself to be out there in the world a bit more. Don't isolate yourself. Connect. Let opportunities come from that place. You understand?
Yes, I do.
So your story is, universe, I am absolutely every day giving, and I am open to receive all of my goodness, a plentiful supply of the good things in life. And then as things show up, like you go to buy something and it's on sale, or someone lowers a bill for you, or you find a quarter or a penny, or there's an extra $1 here that you didn't expect, start noticing that as absolute assurance to you that this new thought is working and manifesting in your space. You understand?
Yes, and I do that. And yes, yeah.
So what?
It's the little things. Yes, I do acknowledge them. I do find everything that you just said. You know, from the quarters on the ground to deals at the store, and things show up to me. But that's not paying my rent.
So
that's the caveat.
Understand. A few things here. First off, it does not matter where any of your beliefs up until this exact moment came from. It doesn't matter. Everything that you have created have manifested in this moment is based on beliefs you had in the past. In this moment, if you create a new belief, in the next moment you start creating and manifesting a new reality.
Right.
Have you had everything you needed and more? Let's just start basic. Have you had everything you needed? In this moment, do you have everything you need? Not a week from now, not a month from now, not a year from now. Right now, do you have everything you need?
Yes.
Oh, good. We're going to give you our favorite affirmation. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Galore, galore. Say it with us.
What is it? Galore, galore.
Galore. I have everything I need and more. Galore, galore. I have everything I need and more. Galore, galore. I have everything I need and more. And if you will just start making this your truth, I do have everything I need in this moment. I do have everything I need in this moment. You'll have everything you need in every moment. This is the path out. Galore, galore, I have everything I need and more. I have everything I need and more. Money flows to me easy, effortlessly, harmoniously, in expected and unexpected ways. Start reprogramming your subconscious, your thoughts, your thinking with those two things.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as the course goes on, we'll get into a little more of the advanced work of how you start moving your passions, your gifts, your talents, your abilities into a more formal way that you allow yourself to receive in abundant, wealthy, prosperous ways for the works you're really here doing in the world. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. And if your painting is what really is what you're passionate about, what are you painting? Tell us what you paint.
I just started. I am painting kind of abstract paintings. One of them I call Mystical Waters. It's basically just abstract art. I have one that's like a full moon over the water.
So how do you feel when you look at them?
Inspired, excited. I can't believe I did it.
So there you go. There you felt it. So I just started is very limited. You're blocking, right. Even in that sentence or statement or feeling, you're blocking people from being able to walk in and want to give to you for your paintings. Well, I just started. Mm-hmm. I'm not very good. I don't know. It's all that, right? But the second we go to how do you feel when you look at them, that they inspire you. So we said part of being a wayshower is self-expression, expressing yourself and creating beauty in the world. That's part of your job here. That is the work. That's the work. Mm-hmm. That's the real work you're here to do. You're here to put beauty into the world, to express yourself, to create beauty. You're doing that. Do you understand?
Yes, I've gotten prints of my paintings, and I'm just now looking for ways to share them
just
with others.
Drawing to me opportunities to share my gift in a greater way.
Mm-hmm.
And so open yourself. When you're opening yourself, so we're going to get, again, way more into this when we talk about converting light into form and drawing things to you. If you would just sit for 5 minutes, you might even start by looking into your paintings and getting into the just excitement and inspiration and joy you feel when you're looking at them. And then close your eyes and go within for a few minutes and feel that, I wonder who this painting belongs to. I wonder who would be inspired and find joy in this painting that I've painted. And see yourself putting it out there and shining your light on it, and people being drawn to it and being inspired by it and being healed by it or helped by it or feeling better in the presence of it. And you're going to start converting your intention through your light into the form, which will be people showing up to buy it or ideas or people to help you and everything that you need. So we're going to go way more into this, but we are very excited for you, our friend, because we see where you're going on this path, and it's not just the beginning. You're well on your journey, but there are great things coming for you, and it's going to get so very exciting. Do you understand?
Yes. Is it mostly in the art end of things?
Do you want it to be?
I think that would be a fun part.
Yes, it's that and many other things. So
yeah.
Money, your health, your relationships, it's all these playgrounds that you learn to play out your power. So there's great friendships, relationships, companionship, going deeper into intimacy with others that is coming for you, a greater sense of well-being and joy and happiness in your life, opening up to all of the goodness that's trying to flow to you with wealth and abundance and prosperity, but also so much more beauty coming for you, so many more connections and opportunities. And a great part of it is in your choosing. What are you excited about? Following your curiosity, following your joy, following the things that light you up. And if that changes at some point and it continues in a different direction, it's all going to continue, but there's different adventures on the path. But the adventures should come from the things that surprise and delight and excite you. Very good, Arthur?
Yes. Yes.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Indeed. We love you, our friend. We have enjoyed this interaction with you all so very much. We look forward to continuing our conversations with you next week at this time. We assure you we are always with you. We are always available to you. We love you. We love you. We love you. And with that, we are complete.